This Budget Altraia deck is actually really good. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at an Altaria deck list from Champions Path. This deck has no GX Pokemon at all. It is all basic Pokemon. The most expensive card that you're probably going to be looking at is Jirachi, I think, and that's not even that expensive anymore, so it is definitely a super affordable list. This one comes to us from Vinicius Fernandez, and I'm sorry if I've butchered your name there, mate. It's a tough name to pronounce, but his Twitter, he posted the deck list. I've done some little edits based on a suggestion that he made in his Twitter comments, so make sure you check out his Twitter. There is a link down below to do that. Whilst you're there, you can check out me on Twitter, the Sableyes. Oh, very exciting stuff. And Facebook, Discord, Twitch, all that good stuff. If you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so and drop a like. That would be great. I know it's cliche for YouTubers to ask you to do that, but it genuinely does help people see the video more when more people like it. So if you're a big fan of budget decks like this one, then let me know. We will jump onto PTCGO now and check out the deck list to show you exactly how this one is going to play out. So this list is pretty sweet. I really, really like it. There's a couple of cool things to talk through, so let's do that. We are going to start off, though, with the 4/4 Altaria line. Miraculous Charm works very similarly to Decidueye's ability, in which we will stop V and GX Pokemon from damaging us. So when most of the format, things like ADP Zacian, Eternatus, things like Lucametal and Center Scorch, this card cannot be damaged by any of those Pokemon, so it gives you a really, really good out to make sure that you're not going to get knocked out. Unfortunately, sometimes there are going to be one prize Pokemon that can come through and take knockouts. Things like Volcanion can easily one-shot Altaria, so be aware of that. But the benefit Altaria has is that a Twin Energy is all it needs to attack. Speed Dive for 60 damage is more than acceptable. Now, around that, we've got a couple of other little combo pieces going. You'll notice there's 3 copies of Starly in the list. It has the ability Sky Circus, which means that when we play Bird Keeper from our hand during this turn, we ignore all energy cost on this Pokemon's attacks. So that's really, really strong. We've got Twin Energy for Keen Eye. It does no damage, but we get to search our deck for up to 2 cards and put them into our hand. So every turn we can have a free search if we like. We just need to play down a Twin Energy and go from there. Or if we've used Bird Keeper, we can use Starly for free. So that can help us set ourselves up. Unfortunately, that means that Starly's probably going to get knocked out in the active, but we also have 3 copies of Kangaskhan in the list. This card has the attack Rally back for a Twin Energy. Again, 30 damage, plus 90 if a Pokemon on our side of the field has been knocked out last turn by an opponent's attack. So we can do 120 damage for a Twin Energy. We are guaranteed to get 2 cards and 120 damage off if we pull off this combo. And of course, we've got 4 copies of Bird Keeper to make it even easier to get Starly to use its Keen Eye attack. Now, in the list on Twitter, there were 4 copies of both of these cards, but I've cut 1 of each to bring in a couple of copies of Big Parasol. This card's very important, especially when we're thinking about decks like Lucario Melmetal and other kind of annoying energy discarding Pokemon. Zamazenta V is another one. As long as this card is attached to our Pokemon, we prevent all effects of attacks on our opponent's Pokemon done to all of our Pokemon. So the Big Parasol in the active means that an opponent's attack cannot discard energy. So that's very important for us, because unfortunately we only have 9 energy. There's 4 twins, there are 3 captures, and 2 powerful colorless energy, and we can't really afford to lose too many of them. So we want to make sure that we are giving ourselves the best shot to keep those energies in play. Now, there is also one other attacker in the list that I haven't mentioned. It is Zangoose, and I think this is a really, really cool inclusion. Brutal Edge is the attack that we're going to focus on. 20 damage, plus 10 for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if we've already half hit a VMAX Pokemon, say we've hit into it once with Altaria, we've hit into it once with something like Kangaskhan, then Zangoose can come in and deal a lot of damage to to take a one-shot when your opponent might not be expecting it. It's a bit niche, but it is a really cool card. I didn't get to put it on the thumbnail. I really wanted to put it on the thumbnail, but I figure Altaria, Kangaskhan, and Starly are more important. Although, I haven't made the thumbnail yet, so I could just put it on. It's on the thumbnail. I'm putting it on the thumbnail. Let's do that. There's some support Pokemon in the deck. There is obviously 4 copies of Jirachi. We don't have any of the, like, retreat engine that we need to have, so that, you know, that kind of stuff isn't that big of a deal in this deck. Stellar Wish is going to be the key. We can scoop it up, we can switch it, but we don't really care because we've got Kangaskhan to come in and deal some damage if our opponent does knock the Jirachi out. If they don't, that's fine, whatever. We can just use Stellar Wish again. And I also have 1 copy of Oranguru in the deck. Primate Wisdom is important to save specific cards. We don't want to be burning things with Professor's Research that we want to have access to in the late game. There are a couple of accounts in here that are a little small, so we want to make sure we can hang on to them. We want to make sure that we can utilize them as well as possible. We have 1 Ordinary Rod to shuffle Pokemon back in if they get knocked out. That might be a Kangaskhan, it might be a 1/1 Altaria line, it could be anything. There is a 4 Quick Ball and 4 Pokémon search engine. We have 20 Pokemon, so we've got lots of Pokemon to shuffle into the deck. I've mentioned the switch outs already. Chaotic Swell to stop our opponent from being able to play down their stadiums. We've got Bird Keeper, Boss's Orders, Guzmahala, really, really important in this deck. We can use it to find Twin Energy and a Parasol and a Chaotic Swell if we'd like, so a very important supporter there. Then 2 Marnie and 4 Research. Round out the rest of the deck. I've had a lot of fun with this one. It is a little bit awkward to play, and I'm still not very good at it. I will throw it out there. I think I still undervalue Starly, like, a lot. I think I just need to wrap my head around the fact that I should be using Starly and Kangaskhan to knock out threats and then sitting behind Altaria. So I just need to wrap my head around that a little bit. I've got a couple of games lined up for us. We'll see whether or not Altaria can get some wins, or at least we can get some entertaining gameplay. Alright, so, game 1. Haven't had a chance to get a solid match with Altaria just yet, so hopefully we can get one here. We've lost the coin flip, and our opponent will be choosing to go first or second here. They choose to go first. This is an awkward hand. We've got a Jirachi, though, so that's fine. Lots of energy. I might need to, like, capture energy onto the Jirachi, unless I top deck, like, Marnie or something. Gengar Mimikyu in the active for our opponent, so this might be like Psychic Mewtwo, perhaps? Doesn't look like it's going to... Oh, it's Welder Mewtwo. Okay, cool. So we see the Charizard GX into the discard pile, a couple of Fire Energy. This is Welder Mewtwo. I don't think Welder Mewtwo has access to any way to knock out an Altaria. I don't think so. I know that other decks do. I just don't... Well, unless he plays like a Volcanion, in which case that could potentially knock out an Altaria. I don't think he can knock out 4. I think that's the most important thing. I don't think he could knock out 4 Altaria. So if we can manage to get all of our guys together here, we should be fine. We just need to live past the first couple of turns, because the hand that we have at the moment is pretty rank. Here comes a Quick Ball, and they will discard a card from their hand. Another Fire Energy to grab a Crobat V. So let's see what they go for here. An extra 4 cards with Crobat. They're filling out the bench quite a lot, which is good for us, because we don't want them to have access to any bench space to play down an attacker that might be able to deal with Altaria. Another Quick Ball here, so lots of Quick Balls early. We'll probably see that grabbing a Mewtwo, since they don't know what we're playing yet. Oh, they did have the Volcanion, but they discarded it. That's huge news for us. We could potentially be in a winning position if we find ourselves a... Well, not an Altaria, because we have one of the... Oh, we got a Professor's Research off the top. Let's still wish what we can find. I like Pokemon a lot. Ooh, actually, no, I like Chaotic Swell. Let's play down Chaotic Swell. Let's do that. And I also want to capture energy to grab a Swablu. We put that down. Then let's just gust up this Gengar Mimikyu, because now they're going to need to find Switch and Welder and Attachment, so they're going to have to look for quite a lot here. And then next turn, we can Altaria, we can Twin Energy, scoop up the Jirachi and go from there. They couldn't do anything. This is beautiful. We will play down the Altaria. We will attach the energy. I'll use Stellar Wish. Oh, they've just conceded. There we go. So it's as simple as that. So managing to win a game there. You can see sometimes people just don't have an out to deal with Altaria. Or sometimes they do have an out to deal with it and they just discard it straight away anyway. So we will jump into another one here. Hopefully our opponent again doesn't have a way to deal with Altaria. We will see. It looks like they've got a metal deck box, metal coin, metal sleeves. You could be going up against like Turbo Zacian, maybe like ADP Zacian. Could even be Luca Metal. It depends what they start with here as to what they are playing. There's a Persian in there. That's interesting. So yeah, it could be like a Turbo Zacian build. We will take an extra card. Guzmahala is alright. There is Zacian and Oranguru. So it might be something unconventional here. Then again, it could easily just be like ADP and that's that. Tag Call will give us some information though. I'll probably grab something Lucario Metal. Okay, so we want to use this Parasol. Parasol is very important here because we don't want our opponent to be able to discard our energy with their Full Metal Wall GX attack. We obviously don't like that. One of the tough things though is we are going to need to try and work around things like Stunfisk, which I know these types of decks play, but obviously Big Parasol will be quite handy for us here because it prevents all effects from attacks done to our Pokemon. So as long as everything goes to plan, we should be okay. A Galarian Meowth coming down here. We will see whether we can set ourselves up well enough. We've got a couple of Quick Balls and a couple of Pokecoms, so we should be fine. It's just a matter of what we decide to grab. Intrepid Sword finds an energy. Okay, here we go. We've got Twin. Let's Quick Ball. I'll get rid of one of the Pokecoms. I think I'm going to grab a Swablu. I will play that down. I will... let's just play another Quick Ball. I'll get rid of Guzmahala. I've already got enough energy in my hand. I'll play down the Jirachi and then attach... let's attach Powerful Colorless to the active and then pass. This will encourage them to take a knockout, which I really need to get my hand moving here. And if they don't take a knockout, then I can hammer in for knockout on the Oranguru next turn. So it gives us a chance to take a knockout early, which is great, and also incentivizes them to let me put my Jirachi in the active, which would be also fantastic. Here comes a Berserker. We've got Metal Saucer. That will probably go onto the Zacian. Looks like that's what they're doing. We are probably going to see a knockout here. Mallow and Lana, that's a very expensive retreat, but it's a retreat nonetheless. Going to Oranguru for one. Then they'll take a prize with Brave Blade. So they've only got 2 cards in their hand. I feel like we might potentially be able to steal a bit of a march here and try to get going. We've just top decked another energy. That's unfortunate. Oh, we've got Bird Keeper though. We could Bird Keeper. We could Scoop Up Net actually, because Scoop Up Net guarantees the Altaria. We can attach Twin. We can scoop up Jirachi. We can Pokemon Communication Jirachi away, find Altaria, and attach Big Parasol, and then, I would say deal 60 damage, but because of the goggles, we're only going to be dealing 30, so we are well and truly into the long game in this one. Hopefully they can't do anything with this hand. They'll be able to look at a 4th because of Oranguru. But, you know, they've got a prize, a top deck, and an extra card. They've managed to find the Stunfisk and the research. That is so unfortunate. This Snap Trap Stunfisk is annoying, because if we attack into it, we lose energy. As one of those cards I was talking about early on, and unfortunately Parasol doesn't stop that from happening, so it is no good. It is unfortunate. Metal Saucer will probably go onto that Stunfisk. There it is. And an attachment as well. Hopefully they don't have Switch. Just a Primate Wisdom. Maybe they're looking for that Switch. They do have it. Okay. Well, we could lose the game here because Stunfisk could just flip heads. Because it does like 30 plus 30 for every heads you flip or something like that until you start. Oh! Research off the top. Okay, beautiful. Game continues. Let's see here. I'm going to quick ball. I think I'm going to quick ball away the Chaotic Swell and then grab another Swablu. I mean, we've got the capture energy, so I could grab something else. Maybe like Kangaskhan, because I could see this Altaria getting knocked out. I can play down the Kangaskhan, attach the capture energy, and then play down another Swablu. Now, I'm going to speed dive here. They will be able to get rid of the twin, but I'm hoping that we can just hit into this Stunfisk again and knock it out. Because if we can knock it out straight away, I don't mind if we've lost 3 twin energies to it, because we should be able to hold on to our 4th one forever. Mallow Lan is so bad. Oh, he just had it twice. Oh my god. Okay, so, in that case, they probably go back into Stunfisk, which means, no, okay, so they're just going for an Intrepid Sword. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, so, I could Bird Keeper into Kangaskhan and, oh no, I can't, because I need the extra damage from Powerful Colorless. Do I want to commit this twin energy to the active? Probably not. I like the idea of Bird Keepering. I think I'm just going to Bird Keeper into the Swablu, and hopefully it all works out. Okay, we've got an Altaria, so at least it's going to force an attack from the Stunfisk again. Then I'll attach the capture energy to that Altaria, and we might grab... I don't know, I think Oranguru seems like a good call here, because we've got so many energy in my hand, I want to get rid of them so that when we eventually use Professor's Research, we don't just completely decimate our energy stocks. I'll pass. They will retreat into Stunfisk. They'll either take a knockout or half hit. I would almost prefer them to knock us out, because then we don't lose extra energy on top of that. We can just attach the capture to Kangaskhan and then KO with Rally Back. But unfortunately, another Tails. I've never thought I'd say it, but I'm disappointed my opponent didn't knock us out that turn. We will Primate Wisdom that twin energy back to the top of the deck. We have a boss here, so we could do a couple of things. We'll capture energy. We'll see. I don't know if there's worth grabbing anything here really. Maybe just another Swablu, because once we get rid of this Stunfisk, we should be fine. But for the moment, I'm just gonna gust up this Berserker again. 2 cards in hand. Hopefully, we can get rid of the Berserker, which is another threat that could potentially take knockouts. As long as they don't have an... Oh my god, they just have the outs every turn. That's so disappointing, because they've... Okay. Well, this turn they're incredibly light. 1 heads flip. The Tails again! Oh my god! Oh, man. Okay. Top decking Pokecoms, because of the shuffle from the capture energy. I will grab another Altaria here. All I needed was for one of those coin flips to be good, and it would have been fine. I will Primate Wisdom, put the Ordinary Rod on top of the deck, and then Research. We'll see what we can find. We've got a powerful Colorless energy. Is it worth attaching that anywhere at the moment? We're guaranteed to get knocked out. I think we just attack, hit it for 60, and lose another energy. It's so unfortunate. Just being able to switch. If I had been able to take a knockout on the Berserker, if they had a flipped heads, I would have been able to knock out the Stunfisk. But I'm more worried about the fact that I'm just losing too many energy here. I'm just losing too many energy. Damage Rush finally takes the knockout. Unfortunate. I'll promote the Kangaskhan because I've got the knockout on the active with Rally Back now, so that's good. I can attach the powerful Colorless, and then I feel like it might just be worth Primate Wisdoming this Research to the top, and then Marnieing maybe? Because he's been drawing into everything that he needs, so maybe I'll just take the knockout. Maybe I don't give him anything. Hopefully, this is enough to stop our opponent from doing too much. We've got Bird Keepers aplenty. They're going to knock out the Kangaskhan with Zacian. They're going to get rid of both of the Parasols here, which is disappointing. Now they've got a powered Berserker as well. The Berserker is going to be able to hit into the Altaria that's already damaged, which is unfortunate. Research, though, is good for us because it forces him to have... Well, he's got less cards now than we have, which is important. We want to have as many cards as possible. Here's the Brave Blade. So we'll probably promote the Altaria with the with damage, maybe. So let's see here whether we can do anything. Let's see. Primate Wisdom, potentially we'll find ourselves something. No dice in the end. Oh, I'm gonna scoop up the Oranguru. I'll put that down. Then I think just a Marnie, reduce their hand size. I don't really care whether I attack this turn, as long as they don't. There's a Twin Energy. Maybe I switch into the Altaria on the bench. This is not great. This is not great at all, but it's something. I'm gonna put the boss back on top again, so that if we get Marnied, we've got access to something. Just a little bit of damage, a little bit of pressure. They might be forced to retreat into Berserker to attack us. As long as they don't find another attacker, we should be okay. If they need to attack multiple times with Berserker, then that is good news for us. They're going to do 90 damage, so it's worth remembering that we are going to be... That Meowth could potentially knock us out, which is annoying. But they only have 12 cards left, and they've got one attacker. So they're going to attach to the Meowth. They're going to Marnie. Okay, so I'm glad I put the boss to the top. They have no way out at the moment. They have to manually retreat. Let's see, what do we get? We've got the boss. No energy just yet. But that's okay. I know there's one more left in the deck, so we should be okay for one last attack. But at the moment, we are in an awkward spot because they will easily be able to take 3 prizes if we don't stop them. We're going to knock out Berserker. They've found the switch. Okay, so they've got a powered Zacian still. That's annoying. They're going to hit into the Altaria, so we're going to be able to knock out Berserker next turn. So we have 3 cards, realistically. 3 cards to try and find access to a energy. I'm going to quick ball here, get rid of the Starly. I think it's too late for Starly. There's the energy. I can't afford to Bird Keeper here because I've got the attack in the active already. So we will speed dive. Hopefully we find some sort of draw off of this. That's no good. They need 1 energy to attack with the Meowth. Okay. So they're going to be able to knock out our Altaria here. We are a Bird Keeper away from knocking this Meowth out. And I feel like there's no way that our opponent can realistically expect to power up another attacker if we get a knockout. Let's just have a look. They've got 2 switches down, 2 Malawanas down. They've used almost all of their metal patches. They didn't find Berserker. We just need to Bird Keeper into this energy. So we've got a 1 in 11 shot of drawing the energy. But we get to draw 3 cards. We could Bird Keeper into Starly and guarantee it. But they could then just boss knock up the Altaria. Oh, I think I'm just going to go for it. Just hit the energy, please. Oh, no. Okay, well. One last. Oranguru. Primate Wisdom. That's unfortunate. Okay, we just have to pass. Hopefully, they didn't have Berserker, so... Oh, they've just got Berserker off the prizes. Oh, and they've got an energy. No! No! Okay, so what is our out now? Our out is decking them out. So we're going to boss their heaviest boy, Lucario Melmetal. We're going to pass and we're going to hope. We're going to hope that they don't have a switch out to knock out our Oranguru. They've used 2 and... oh my god, I just had everything every single turn. Hey, listen, that's... I think we did a pretty good job. We were 1 card away from winning that one. So that is incredibly unfortunate. I feel like every single turn of that game, our opponent had exactly what they needed. They even managed to manipulate the coin flip so that they didn't do more damage, so that we couldn't deal with that Stunfisk earlier. Unfortunate loss there, but I think it goes to show just how strong that deck is. We almost managed to get there against Lucametal, and that deck is designed to beat these type of things. So I think it's a pretty solid effort. Again, I might have undervalued Starly in that matchup. Maybe could have used it again. I was just worried if we got that Altaria boss, the game was over. So it's always a bit of a concern. But hey, that's fine. We live and we learn. This deck is a super cool one. It's super cheap. You can pick it up really easily, and it has an opportunity to beat some of the best decks in the format. So I would 100% get on board with Altaria. I think it's really cool. Thank you very much to everyone who has been involved so far today. For you for watching, for people on Twitter for sharing their cool deck lists. If you want to share one with me, then leave it in the comments down below, or jump onto Twitter or onto Discord and share them with me there. That would be greatly appreciated. Leave a like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Watch some of these videos down here in this playlist. There's a lot of cool decks in this format that you can try. Thank you everyone for coming along, and I will see you next time. More from the Sableyes. Bye.